Hey everybody, this is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading, my darlings. Today's reading is called Future Lives, Your Ascension Path. Okay, so I did a reading on how past lives are affecting your current lifetime. If you look in my, if you look back on my channel a couple readings ago, I did a reading on that, and someone requested that I do a reading about their future lives and about their ascension path. 10:10 on my clock right now. Awesome. Yay. Okay. And yeah, so after we get done with this life and we're complete with regard to this life, 10:10 energy, where are we going next? And what planet will we be working with or be working on? Will we have more Earth incarnations? What lessons are we working through? And what is our pathway to ascension in the future? Okay, so I'm really excited to do this reading. It's really fun. It's really experimental. And I hope it gets deep as well. We will not be having an extended reading for this reading, but we have a ton of oracle cards here. We've got tarot decks to choose from. I pre-shuffled the oracle cards, and I don't know what's in any of the piles, but I chose from some really cool decks, some really spiritual and cool decks that we'll look at, such as Elena Fairchild's Lightworker Oracle. We have Wisdom of the Archangels here. I'm using my Keepers of the Light book. We're going to be talking about Ascended Masters. I'm using my Lemurian Star Child Oracle. I absolutely love this deck. It is so scrumptious. So scrumptious, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get into it, my darlings, and go ahead and choose your pile based on the following descriptions that I'm gonna give here. And I'm using crystals today instead of tea lights. We have the Amethyst cluster here for my pile number 1. So if you're drawn to this Amethyst cluster, you will choose pile number 1. If you are drawn to this rose quartz, this huge hunk of rose quartz, actually my friend Tiffany gave this to me. Blessings, Tiffany, if you see this video. But yeah, it's super, I love it. Rose quartz resonating with the energy of the heart chakra. And I also have here for pile number 3, we have this gorgeous citrine here. It's just yummy. It looks like it's got honey in the middle of it. And so we have the Amethyst cluster, which is shining so brightly, the rose quartz, and the citrine, okay, for pile number 3. So whatever you're drawn to, pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. And you may be drawn, based on the oracle deck as well. So the deck I'm using for pile 1 is the Light Seers Oracle. Pile 2 is the Modern Witches Tarot. And pile 3 is the Mystic Monday Oracle, okay? So go ahead and choose your pile, and you are welcome to watch more than one pile. And indeed, there may be messages that resonate from all piles as well, too. So, welcome in, everybody. I'm so glad you're here, and let's go ahead and get into it. You can go directly to my description box below to click to your pile. Additionally, if you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, details are in my description box for how to do that as well. Thank you for those of you who support my work and watch my channel, subscribers, new and old alike. Thank you so much for being here. I love doing spiritual readings. I know I do a lot of love pick a cards and sometimes silly ones or 18 plus, etc. But I love doing spiritual readings for you as well. And for any of you that have any spiritual readings, please leave in the comment box any kind of spiritual readings that you would want me to do. If you enjoy this reading, I love to take your input and your suggestions just because, and sometimes I just have to go with what I'm drawn to do, but I do love hearing your insights and your comments. So if there are certain spiritual readings that you would like me to do in the future, please let me know, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Amethyst cluster. I love this Amethyst cluster. It's so raw. It shines so beautifully. It's one of the most, and a lot of times I'm not super drawn to Amethyst because, especially when it's not, I like when it's not raw. I love this raw version of this Amethyst. This is like way cool. So welcome to your reading, pile number 1. And today's reading is called Future Lives and Your Ascension Path. Okay, so we're going to look at, in the future, what will your soul be working on, and what is your ascension path for this lifetime. Okay, pile number 1. So let's go ahead and get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please be with me today. All right, help me relax, help me be less tense, help me connect to the energy here. There's no need to feel any pressure, pile number 1. We're exactly where we're supposed to be, okay? Please help connect me to the energy of pile number 1, please, and thank you. All right, Amethyst is a very calming stone, very relaxing for the third eye, okay? Let's go ahead and get into it, my pile number 1s. No need to always be right, my beauties. You're doing wonderful, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. For my pile number 1s, what is their future path here? What do their angels need to tell them? Okay, we have Archangel Raphael, set aside the past, okay? So the angels are helping you to set aside your past. And I think your future lives are, I'm getting the initials YSY, YSY. And, you know, your angels are telling you here that your future lives are actually not going to really even be based on your past. Like, your future lives are going to be something totally new. And I feel like you will be setting aside, I'm seeing the initial SY here too. They're telling you to set it aside, and that, you know, if you guys get kind of heavy energy when you think about your past or your ties to your past, Spirit is here to confirm that, you know, you are actually going to kind of, I don't want to say disassociate from the past, but you will in a way. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of associations that fall away for you in your future lives too. I feel like some of you are going to get a reset. And I feel like in your future lives, some of the people that you're going to meet are going to be not people that you've encountered before, which I do think your soul needs that reset, pile number 1. And when I'm talking about future lives, it could be later on in this lifetime too, right? And there's this whole idea that we actually live, you know, multiple lives, even in one lifetime. We're working on the astral plane. We're working with other planetary energies, even during our current lifetime, because time is not linear, it's spiralic, okay? So keep in mind when I'm talking about future lives. Let's go ahead and see. We have Mars force, okay? So you guys in your future lives or later on in this lifetime will be working with the energy of Mars. And so you guys are going to be working with, and I feel like if some of you get headaches or like temple headaches, like headaches in your temple, I feel like you guys could be getting some upgrades from Spirit with regard to that. And you may be receiving information too for some of you with, you may have some like headaches, or you may have some tightness in your neck and shoulders, kind of is too what I feel, pile number 1. But I feel like you guys are, regardless of whether you're masculine or feminine or whatever you identify with, I do think you guys, you know, future lives coming up in this lifetime and coming up in future lives, you guys are going to be diving more into your energy of pushing forward and not taking no for an answer, okay? And it's yang energy is what I feel, all right? And if you guys were kind of, you know, I'm seeing the initial Y again here. If you guys were in the past letting other people kind of walk over you, or letting other people take control of the situations, or you were being more passive in nature. I feel like your future life, or in this lifetime, is to take more control of the situations that are around you, okay? And to kind of put your stamp on it and your approval on it is kind of what I feel. Pile number one. Let's see what else you have here. Intuition. Trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers you seek, okay? So maybe you'll find some answers on this video. But I think too, you know, the past and your intuition in the past, I think has been, you know, right on, pile number one. I think some of you may not have taken always appropriate action or action based on that, okay? And that's why you're gonna have some time spent with some Martian energy or Mars energy. You may be coming back as an Aries or coming back as a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. For those of you that do have Aries in your chart, or you are an Aries, you may have water in your chart, like Cancer and Aries, etc. Or you may have Scorpio and Aries, or Pisces and Aries, okay? And, you know, you guys are very intuitive, and I feel like you get a lot of information. You're very psychic here with this Amethyst. But, you know, sometimes it's like carrying it out is what becomes something that you guys are going to try to conquer, like carrying out actions based on what you know, okay? It says, I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life, okay? So this is where I feel like some of you may be feeling like you need some healing for your past, and you need, you know, and you need to let go. I feel like some of you are needing some detox. I see some of you like sitting in a sauna, or like going to see a shaman for some of you. I see some of you needing to kind of get those past energies out of you so that you can flow like a river with the destined life instead of the fated life. And I feel like some of you were thinking that you need to accept your current life state based on the past, right? Based on your past circumstances. You're like, well, this is where it led me, so I just have to accept that. And this I Remember card also reminds me of the Magician in this Light Seers deck, okay? So I feel like you guys are starting to, and I feel like, you know, the Magician, Mars, these are energies about taking what we know and putting it into action and creating something new, okay? So I feel like you guys are gonna get this jolt or this burst of empowerment is kind of what I'm feeling. And I think you guys are going to remember that there isn't really, you know, the destined life versus the fated life, okay? And what you can do to put yourself on the path of destiny instead of just kind of more passively accepting your past as prelude, okay? We have fall into my arms, surrender, the holding of opposites, and the extremes of life, okay? So again, with this yin and yang energy that I feel like, you know, and then I feel like your future self, you're gonna have more lifetimes on Earth, or integrating your Mars energy and manifesting and integrating your Mars energy. But the ultimate, you know, reality is going to be that your soul is going to have a complete understanding of both. And you're not going to look at, you know, like blindly taking action and impulsively versus passively accepting things and knowing the truth, but not really taking action on it. I feel like you guys are going to start to, these energies are going to start to reconcile in you. And I feel like you guys are going to bathe. Look at this beautiful pool of water. I feel like your subconscious energy is going to kind of understand the macro forces that you've been dealing with, okay? And one side has been heavier than the other in the past, either too weighted to the masculine and not enough weighted to the feminine, or too weighted to the feminine and not, you know, vice versa, right? And I'm seeing the initials O and A here, definitely seeing an A in the number 4. Which could be a birth date, it could be you're an April baby, but I definitely feel like you guys are gonna start to realize that it really is, and I'm seeing a seahorse here too. And seahorses, it's interesting with them because it's masculine and feminine. It's a mix of both. And so archetypally. So I feel like you guys are going to have a huge awakening around this issue. And I feel like your subconscious is ultimately going to, you know, embrace this energy. And I feel like some of you may have lifetimes in the future, lifetimes where you are born as a man or you're born as a woman. And you may even have past lives of you remembering like, oh, I was a man in this lifetime, but now I'm a woman. Or you may even have some recollection or knowledge of that. But I feel like you guys your soul is intently studying this issue, okay? And I'm seeing the word the, O-W, like the word the and then O-W, okay? I don't know what that means, but the O-W, what does that mean? The ow, the pain, right? I guess the pain of separation, the O-W, I don't know what that means. I see a letter H here too, okay? But yeah, I mean, I feel like your soul is going to start to understand that you need both of these energies, and they're both incredibly important for your journey here, okay? We have spirit guides, connect with me, okay? So your spirit guides want to help you let go of the energy of your past and your past lives, okay? It says set aside the past, but it also means past lives. I feel like you guys are needing to kind of set those aside so you can get some, so you can really manifest and act from a really integrated space is what I'm kind of feeling, instead of being so pushed to the extremes in life, like I have to go this way or I have to go that way. I feel like your spirit guides are helping you to clear this energy. And it's so crazy. I said some of you need to be like in a sweat, you know, like a sauna or sweat lodge, or see a shaman for some of this kind of release. And you know, what's so interesting is the spirit guide is showing up in this like native headdress, and there is smoke all around. And I feel like, you know, there is some, like for you guys, I feel like there's some like black raven energy and some like sphinx or snake energy that needs to kind of get integrated within you too. And some of it needs to actually be pulled out of you is honestly what I feel. It needs to be more integrated, and for some of you pulled out more. And I feel like some of you have been hunched over too much. You've been too focused on like the city experience, right? I don't know where I'm getting this, but you've been too hunched over. Some of you have had pain in your back and tightness in your back. And you need to have some of this excess, I feel almost like some poison from your past that needs to kind of be released from your energetic body, pile number one. And your guides are helping you with this, but not only that, I feel like you guys need to do this in the physical as well, with your guides present, asking them to help you as well energetically, okay? We have work on your crown chakra, okay? I love that. So I said you guys are psychic, right? I said that you guys have intuition and that you connect deeply with the past and the future, and you're learning how to take right action based on the information that you're downloading and receiving, okay? So a lot of you are needing to work, you know, maybe with Archangel Metatron here too, because Archangel Metatron is over the crown chakra. And I always kind of feel Archangel Metatron is associated with Mars energy in a way, because I feel like he doesn't take a whole lot of crap, you know, our crap or the crap of others, right? And I feel like this work on crown is like teaching you about how you can be more active with what you're requesting. It's not just the downloads that Spirit wants to give you. It's also asking for what you need and for it to come through in the form of a download is what I'm also seeing. Like, I feel like pile number one, like you need to get more control of this process. Or you not control, it's like you need to get more, you need to ask more requests of Spirit, almost is what I feel, okay? You need to ask more requests for what you need. We have Crystal Child here, your natural core, pure, innocent, removing falsehood, and seer, okay? So like I said, you guys are seers here. And, you know, and sometimes I think, like I said, there's a question of what to do based on this information, or how much you should be bringing out for other people as well, okay? And what you should do with this information. And, you know, this is something that you can work on, right? Because not everything that you see in others is something that needs to be communicated to them. We can only understand like where we're at from the consciousness level that we're at, right? So not everything that you see about others necessarily needs to be communicated to them. It's about, you know, how can you, and also for yourself, like strategically, how can you use this information, right? How can you channel this information into getting actual tangible results on the earth plane, okay? It's something that your soul is actively engaged in here. We have Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency, number 32, okay? So we could have Pisces and Virgo energy in this pile, but I just wanted to, okay, so this Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency, I just wanted to read a little bit from the book. This is from the Elena Fairchild Lightworker deck. I just wanted to, not a lot, I won't read the whole thing, but it says, imagine you have a chance to share a feeling of love in a room full of receptive people. The time is right. They are open to your efforts and create the maximum effect for love success. Or you could expend the same amount of time and energy by arguing with one disinterested person in an attempt to get them to understand and receive your love, even though they actually have no interest in doing so. They just wish to have their own point of view and for you to agree with that. One is working with the law of efficiency and the other is working against the tide of life. It's not bad to choose the harder way sometimes. It can be a great learning experience. But you are being encouraged to explore the easier, more graceful way more often, especially at this time in your life, because there is a helping hand, a natural wave of energy in life that is going to be able to support your rising spirit in manifesting something truly beautiful and special in the world. The law of efficiency is also sometimes known as the path of least resistance. We must find the strength that comes from letting go and trusting that the universe knows what it is doing. It takes spiritual maturity to cede wisdom to a wisdom greater than your own in immediate understanding. Then you are surfing the wave rather than swimming against the current, all right? So, you know, this whole thing is saying, you know, like it's maximum efficiency for you to be around people who are open and ready to receive your words, your healing, your love, your attention, right? And if we keep trying to force, you know, spiritual work on others or getting other people to understand or spending a lot of time with one friend or one particular relationship, trying to get them to see the truth or the light. I mean, there's something I think too also, like there's something about being a spiritual hog, like hogging someone spiritually. And if you have people like that in your life, pile number one, it's like, you know, how are they hogging your energy so that your message can't really get to more people, or you can't find people that are going to resonate and teach you and vice versa, right? Because you're locked into a path of wanting to bring somebody over to, you know, you're wanting to bring them over to your view. And it's not like, you know, and it's not done out of malice or wanting to club someone over their head. I don't feel that, pile number one. I feel like it's more like you want to help them, right? Or a friend is in like an abusive relationship, or a sibling, or you have a relationship of your own where you're trying, this person may struggle with addiction or things like that. You know, particularly with the Amethyst here is good for, you know, working with issues like that. But you know, you could spend a lot of time dumping a lot of effort and energy into that situation. But I think Spirit is asking you to consider the law of efficiency here and giving grace to situations and saying, you know, like, I'm going to open my energy. I can pray for these people in my life, and I can ask that my guides help them and that Spirit helps them. But I really need to open my energy up to where it can flow, the path of least resistance, where the river can kind of flow, okay? And that's cool, pile number one. We have new moon in Scorpio, work through your fears, okay? So there is this need, I think, a lot of fear energy going on in the collective right now, pile number one. Like there is still quite a bit. It started like in January 2020 with that eclipse and the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. There still is a lot of fear energy in the collective right now. And, you know, and you may know your own fears. And I think it's good to know what your fears are. Like take a minute and write them down, acknowledge them, sit with them, be with them, but don't, you know, and understand when you're getting sucked, there's nothing wrong with it for a minute sliding back into a lower vibrational frequency because of a fear. Like we've all been there. We've all been triggered. We've all done it. We're all going to do it again. It's part of being human, right? It's part of working with the cycles of life and the ebb and flow, right? Of the moon and the energies and all of that. But you know, I think it's very important that you understand your fears and that you start to kind of work through them and you start realizing when your mind is getting triggered into a, you know, like the fear zone, when your mind is getting triggered into that. I know for me, like one of my biggest fears is, you know, being left destitute and not having enough money, right? And that comes from growing up and, you know, growing up kind of like dependent and poor, growing up, you know, in a single parent family with, you know, not a lot of income and having to start working from the time I was 14 years old. Like, you know, and I know that that's something that I continue to work through in my life, right? And I think it's helpful to name it and to understand it so you know when you're getting triggered into it. And I feel like some of your guys' pathway to ascension is going to be showing others the way when it comes to that, okay? And I think some of you are going to get very important downloads from your spirit guides and your angels about what it means to overcome, because Mars energy isn't just about fighting and force and all of that, even though it says force here. It's also about overcoming, all right? So you in pile number one, you are overcoming is what I feel. Yeah, we have Gaia, Earth connection, right on. I'm getting the chills right now. And your natural core, and I feel like crystals are very good for you guys, especially the raw crystals. They come from the earth. They bring a lot of great healing and energies to you, but nature is incredibly important. Asking for spirit to, when you go on a walk, pile number one, if you go on a walk and you're just outside, doesn't matter if you live in a city or wherever you live, if you go on a walk outside and you're listening to music and you're getting into the vibe and you're looking at a tree or a blade of grass, whatever you have around you, ask that nature opens up your crown chakra. Ask that your guides help you open up your crown chakra, and that you are going to get more information this way is what I feel. It says, be mindful of the planet, come back to earth, and stay grounded. Okay, my loves? And so yeah, come back to earth. I feel like you guys will come back to earth again in my pile number ones, all right? And I feel like it's because you have much work to do here, and you have many more trainings to take yourself and to help others with. And I do think conquering fear is going to be, you know, part of this for you guys. I think you will come back to earth again. And I think a lot of you love Gaia. I think a lot of you love the earth, or you're going to grow to love earth in a very profound way, I feel like, and wanting to protect her is kind of what I'm feeling, pile number one, okay? You're going to realize like the natural core of the earth is also, you are a part of that. And then we have alchemy. All right. So this is the Temperance card in this deck. And isn't that stunning and gorgeous and beautiful? This is the Starseed Oracle. So, you know, alchemy is the energy. I mean, fire is definitely present with alchemy, but we also have other ingredients here. Like you see fire and water in the Temperance card. And, it's also about self-control too. It's like, how much do we add to this situation, right? If you're working with people and you're trying to help them and you're spending a lot of time with one person trying to get them, you know, to a better place, or be a good friend, or listen to them, etc. You know, like realizing your own self-control in these situations, your own moderation, and how much time you're actually going to spend with certain groups or certain people, I feel is important for you too, pile number one, to kind of keep that ebb and flow going in your life, and to kind of keep the energies balanced, and for maximum efficiency as well too. All right, so you guys are my alchemists in pile number one. And you know, alchemy is a process. It doesn't, you know, you don't go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. It is a process that involves patience and work and discipline, okay? And, you know, and I think that temperance is, you know, a cooling and a calming energy for you guys as well here. And it's definitely more, you have your temperance is also for me, the angels, like your angels are with you. You guys have spirit guides and angels all over this reading, okay? Now I want to go ahead and see what is pile number one's path to ascension here. It's your work on the earth, that's for sure. It's bringing, and that alchemy, right, of passive versus active, right? Bringing that together and surrendering into that. I mean, come on, right? Like how much to help versus when to pull back, who to give your talents to versus when to kind of pull that back. I feel like you guys are really learning about that. And there is a ton of fear energy in the collective, as I said right now. And people do need to be grounded and realistic. And they need removing falsehoods here, okay? Removing the things that are just kind of holding us back. And if we name our fears, I feel like we can, or journal them or name them. I feel like we can understand them more, okay? So spirits, angels, and guides, what can pile number two or pile number one here do to work their pathway to ascension here? What can they do? Seven of Swords, okay? And that's coming up over your past and fears, all right? And there's that black raven energy that I was talking about too. I love ravens, believe me. But I do feel like you guys may have some excessive, maybe at times you guys have had excessive fears, or maybe fears rightfully justified, right? I don't know. I mean, maybe so. Our fears are... I'm going to take that back, actually. I feel like we don't have excessive fears, really. I feel like I'm seeing the initials D and H here. I feel like D-A-H. I feel like we have fears because we have had real experiences that have, you know, shaped who we are and the way that we think, okay? And it causes us to become hyper vigilant, right? Because around that area of our life, because things have been rough in that area, and because things have been taken from us, and because it's been like a survival game, right? It's been like you got to watch your back type of a game, okay? So Spirit is wanting you to move on from that energy. And let's see, what else is pile number one's pathway to ascension here? The Hierophant. Yeah, Spirit is wanting you to let go of that hypervigilance and get into your body, get into laughter. Laughter as medicine, I feel like here too. But Spirit also wants you to explore parts of your psyche that you have never explored, parts that you may feel have been fractured, or parts that you may feel that you haven't really gotten to explore because you were too busy kind of doing the dog-eat-dog survival game, okay? Spirit's wanting you to lighten your load, lighten it up, and, you know, step into your faith. That I see the initial T and S here, TS, okay? I'm seeing the name Brandy here too, or maybe some of you know a Brandy or have a Brandy in your life, but I'm seeing that name here. I'm also seeing the number 5. But I feel like, you know, it's like, you know, Spirit is saying, stay here. You've done a good job, okay? Like if some of you ever contemplated leaving the earth plane, or, you know, before your time, etc., pile number one, I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, stay here. You've done a really good job. And there's There's better things ahead for you here. If you also, when you relax and smile and let laughter into your spirit too, is what I feel, okay? We have Page of Pentacles. So to me, this is about like, you know, embracing life sometimes as, you know, like being willing to be a beginner about some things. You guys are very wise, and with the Hierophant here, you guys are very wise and you have a lot of knowledge, and you definitely have a connection to spirit to receive even more knowledge than you have now, okay? And if there's a new skill that you are gonna learn, or a new trade that you guys wanna undertake, or there's some new kind of, you know, spiritual training that you guys want to get, I feel like Spirit is saying, go for it. Go for it. Especially any spiritual like trainings or things that you could learn to do that connect you to the earth, okay? That connect you. We could have earth sign energy in this pile, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But anything that really connects you to the earth and connects you to Gaia and connects you to, like, you know, the land, all right? The land, the trees, the sky, like rainwater, things like that, okay? Some of you guys are needing to connect more that way. Let's see, what else here, Spirit? What else here is the pathway to, oh, Queen of Cups, right? I surrender. I surrender. I surrender in spirit. And a lot of you are, I feel like a lot of you could be praying to your guides. And I feel like a lot of you are just saying, you know, whatever happens, Spirit, I know you've got my back. I know I'm going to be taken care of. I know I'm going to be okay. And I feel like mandalas could be very healing for some of you too. Like, I don't know if you do work with mandalas, or you look at them sometimes, or you meditate with them. I also feel like singing bowls could be very good for you in pile number 1 as well. But I feel like, you know, you guys, there is this energy too of silence, I feel like, in silence and surrender. In silence and surrender, you find peace, okay? And it's not all this activity of the mind and all of this, you know, dog eat dog and fears about the future, or fears that things are not going to work out the way that you want them. It's like, just let go of all of that and just go and get into ease, get into flow. Pile number 1, get into your ease, get into your flow, surrender. Okay, this Queen of Cups looks like she's completely surrendering and healing, and just, you know, waiting on Spirit to kind of come in and show him or her the way here. Okay, we have strength here too. So I feel like, you know, you guys are on this path to, we talk about the path of least resistance, okay? And sometimes it feels like if we're doing something hard or we're doing something difficult, that we're finally, like, people will say that we're okay or we did a good job if there's something that we did that was very challenging, right? But I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you know, I feel like your physical body needs to be strong, pile number 1, for, you know, this incarnation and future incarnations. But I feel like the emotional experience doesn't need to be that challenging anymore, okay? And there's a strength in not allowing your fears to constantly dominate you. If you need to say, I need a moment to feel a fear, and I need 5 minutes to feel it and be with it and then let it go, right? And there's nothing wrong with feeling fear, right? Pile number 1, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, you know, can you understand the deeper meaning of it? And can you take some steps to kind of work with it? And can you overcome to the point where you're not making any decisions based on that kind of fear? I mean, it's okay to go into it. Know that you're going to find your way out of it, is what I feel I also need to tell you, okay? So what about for pile number 1 in their future lives? What are their future lives going to look like here? Ooh, 7 of Pentacles. You guys are going to have a real talent for making things grow. I feel like in your future lives, some of you may get into gardening or working with the earth, or getting your hands dirty. I do feel like in a future life, some of you guys may be, you know, you guys may be doing work on other planets too in the future to make other planets hospitable like Earth is, okay? And helping to grow something for the next generation is what I feel. And I feel like some of you could be like botanists or like, you know, like high level, you know, sacred gardeners in the future, okay? And you're gonna help import Earth energy to other planets is what I feel, which is so fucking cool. You're gonna, because there are beautiful things about Earth, you know, it's not just a place of lies and fears and manipulations. It's also a place where beautiful things can grow. So I feel like that's something you're going to help import into a future. We have the Hermit here. So I think that, you know, you guys are going to become sacred elders on future planets and in future lifetimes, okay? Like you're going to live very long lives on future planets, and you're going to become the sacred elders that other people trek long distances to get your wisdom and to get your healing, okay? And I feel like some of you may work with using plants like as medicine, plant medicine, or working with plant medicine, and working with the natural environment in future lifetimes. And I do feel like, you know, some of you guys are like, well, am I just going to be alone? You know, I don't feel like you will be alone. I feel like there could be an Aries or Leo or Sagittarius who's going to be with you here on your soul path and your mission. And this is a person who could have had, you know, past lives as like a tribal elder man or woman. And this is somebody who's been, you know, living on the land. This is somebody who's been working with the land. This person could have African descent as well too. I feel like this is a person who was a well-respected like leader in their, you know, in their group. I feel like this was a person who is very much activated into their Mars energy, okay? This is somebody who is not immature and irresponsible with fire energy. This is somebody who's very wise and very deliberate about the things that they put their energy into and the things that they want to overcome, okay? And I feel like you two in future lives together are going to be kind of this, you know, and I feel like sometimes you guys will be separate at times. Like you'll be doing your thing, this person will be doing their thing, but you guys are going to be, I feel like you're going to be the medicine man or the medicine woman that people come to for advice and counsel, okay? And this person is like a strategist and you're like a healer, okay? You're like a philosophical healer, pile number one is what I'm getting here. What else? What else here for future lives? Yeah, and I feel like you're already meeting with this person on the astral plane. Your guides are already trying to tap you into this person. They're already here. I feel like you guys don't even know it yet. I feel like you're like, well, where is this person or who are they, right? And I feel like you're already meeting them, Ten of Swords. Like for me, this is like out of body experiences and astral travel. And I feel like you guys are already on a journey in this lifetime to meet up with this person in the astral plane, okay? And I feel like you guys would search near and far to find one another, okay? Because you two together are also going to alchemize each other is what I'm getting, okay? Pile number one. So that's what I'm getting for your reading. What a beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed that, pile number one. And do comment, like, share, and... Oh, my dog knew it was the end of the reading too. Do comment, like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much, pile one. And do come back again. Thank you, darlings. And let's go ahead and move on to pile number two. Okay, pile number two. Let's get into it. All right. Pile number two, you chose the rose quartz, this beautiful piece of rose quartz that my friend gave me. I love it, the shape of it. It's actually like one of these things that you can use on your skin too. It's like multi-purpose. My Virgo friend gave it to me. I just love it, okay? And your reading is called Future Lives, Your Ascension Path, okay? So we're going to look at, you know, in future lifetimes, what are you going to be working on? What's your ascension path in this lifetime, and where your soul is trying to ultimately head here. So this is a lot of stuff, pile number 2, but we're going to get into it, my darlings. Let's do it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please clear my energy from pile number 1. Even though that was lovely energy, we are going to get into the groove of pile number 2, and we are going to find out their future lives and their ascension path. So let's get into it, pile number 2. Let's do it, babies. Here we go. What is my pile number 2's future lives and ascension path? Let's check it. We have Archangel Michael. You have nothing to prove. Oh my God, I love Archangel Michael. You guys are so lucky in pile number 2 to have Archangel Michael energy with you. And he definitely comes through when there is, in this card, I feel like something we've been fighting in ourselves, or we've been over explaining ourselves to other people. We've been fighting a need to please others, or we've been trying to work on, some of you here may be working on issues of not feeling good enough, or codependency, or things like that. I feel like Archangel Michael is really present when we have had, you know, issues with people pleasing or codependency in the past, and we've wanted to prove that we're worthy of love, and that, you know, people should see us or love us or care for us, right? And so we go about our path feeling like we have to work so hard, and we have to abandon ourselves in order so that people will love us or see us, okay? And Archangel Michael is here to cut your cord to that kind of feeling and need that you need to do that, and that you somehow need to be abandoning. Archangel Michael is here to cut that for you so that you're not in that state of feeling like you need to prove yourself to others, okay, in order just to be who you are or have a right to exist. I feel like some of us here, especially if you were like ignored by your parents, or you didn't feel like they saw you, or you were raised by a parent that was very selfish and self-centered, I feel like some of us feel like we don't even have a right to exist, right? And Archangel Michael is like, keep walking your path. You have nothing to prove, okay? So that coming right out here. Yeah, Pluto transformation. I feel like some of you guys in pile number 2, you're like, well, why? I feel like you guys have had some major obstacles at times placed in your path, and you're like, why does it always have to be so, why do the experiences have to cut so deep? Why do things have to be so hard sometimes? And why do I have to suffer such stunning losses or abandonment, okay? And, or just, you know, lose the things that I thought that, you know, lose people or things that I thought were going to always be there, okay? I'm seeing the initials T and R here. And I feel like, and I'm seeing an E as well here, an uppercase E and a lowercase e. I mean, I feel like some of you guys are like, why, you know, like, why does this have to, like, why does life have to be so, why do the losses have to, that we take have to be so intense, right? And you guys in future lifetimes are going to be doing work on Pluto, and your soul in this lifetime is learning these deep lessons about surrender and loss and the impermanence of things, and how things are ultimately not ever lost. They just transform, okay? And I heard that the other day, and it was such an interesting, somebody was talking about how, you know, we're not taking a loss on something. It's just something in our life is transforming into something else. And, you know, and transformation is a rough experience, you know? It's like the caterpillar trying to get out of the cocoon and become a butterfly, right? It's like, ouch, you know? It's ouch, ouch, ouch. And I feel like some of you have had those experiences, and I feel like some of you are like, Jesus Christ, it's like aged my soul, you know, 1,000 years. Like, I need wrinkle cream for my soul, right? And I'm here to tell you that your work in this area is transformational, and it's gonna help you guys do work on other planets in the future where there are races, other races of galactic beings. Just follow me here. Some of you are gonna be like, what the fuck? But other races of galactic beings that are going through huge shifts and transformations and need your wisdom and advice on that, okay? And we have history, you know, our galactic history of where races of galactic beings have needed to, or groups of people have needed to move into a new way of seeing or being. And you are going to have ultimate respect and knowledge in this area because you did it in the densest fucking plane of all. You did it on the earth plane, pile number 2. I feel like some of you are like barely even still on the earth plane because of some of the hardcore ways in which you are needed in other realms too. Like you guys have done the work on the earth plane here. You have nothing to prove. This is the energy of Archangel Michael saying, pile number 2, you have nothing to prove to anybody else. These deep transformation and changes that you have gone through are laying the foundation for future planetary work. I love it. Oh, the signs are there, aren't they? The universe has been gently nudging you forward by revealing to you signs and synchronicities. Oh yeah. And I feel like some of you are like on the precipice of another big transformation or change, and Spirit, and you guys are like, wow, not again, not again, right? And Spirit's like gently nudging you and telling you, you know, and you're seeing some signs of that. I feel like some of you here. We have, oh my God, yeah, wow, 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 wow. Look at this. We have this black sky, like the galaxy, and then we have Earth as this tiny little dot. And it says perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, find common ground, okay? And yeah, and I feel like your guys' Earth incarnations, it has been important to you, but I want you to understand, pile number 2, that like, it's not the entirety of your soul and it's not the entirety of your experience. And some of you may have had very challenging parents, or you may have had very rough childhoods here too, is what I feel like. Or you may have had lost some very important people in some very violent ways, I feel like, for some of you too. And I feel like, you know, you have to kind of draw the arrow back, because you kind of have to step way out of your experience. And that's why I feel like sometimes you guys are so like, you're so open to the galactic experience. I feel like pile number 2, it's like you're barely on this earth plane anymore. And we're about to hit the 11:11 power hour during your guys' reading as well, okay? So, you know, hang on, we're in for a ride here. And I feel like with this perspective, it's like zoom out. Like, even though you have gone through these deep transformations and these deep experiences, and you've gone through hardship, I really do feel, and you've responded to it in a certain way, pile number 2, I feel like Spirit is like, zoom out. None of it is really, it matters, but it doesn't, okay? And there's not anything that you could really do wrong here. You've already done so much. Your soul has already done so much, all right? So let's see. I feel like some of you in this pile could be humanitarians as well. We have the golden children. Yeah, pile number 2. You guys are part of, you know, you guys are the, you know, blessed beings. All right, my loves. And I know it may not feel that way because some of you may have grown up in some really dire, violent, or psychologically abusive circumstances, but Spirit is saying here, you know, tenderness and innocence are rare gifts, pile number 2, and they're the gifts of yours that can never be, even no matter how many things. I feel like some of you guys are very old souls in this pile. It's like you've seen everything, you know, but I feel like what Spirit is wanting to say, that in future lifetimes, this tenderness and innocence is going to be restored, and you're going to be working with people who are going through extremely, or beings who are going through some extremely tough transitions, all right? And I feel like you guys are going to be part of the healing temple where people are going to go after they've had traumatic experiences, and you're going to be one of the people there who helps restore and bring a soul back to their innocence and the rareness and the specialty of who they are, okay? And it's like warm honey, like oozing over your energetic body, pile number 2. And I feel like, you know, this is the work that you're going to do. Oh yes, clairsentient. So you guys are very sensitive. You feel the energetic shifts, and you do feel those gross feelings in your stomach every once in a while too, when you know that something doesn't feel right. And I think that also happens when you're pandering, or you're trying to prove yourself to others around you, or you're trying to ease the tensions because you see the trigger. So you're trying to ease the tensions, okay? And I think you get that gross feeling in your stomach when that's happening. And Spirit is telling you, you know, never ignore your gut, never ignore your feelings, but also, and also too, pile number 2 for my empaths in this pile, you know, don't get obsessed with figuring out, is this my energy? Is this their energy? You can always, a lot of times it doesn't really matter. Like, we're there to kind of pull the energy through and then let it go. And you can always ask your guides, like, take away from me anything that isn't mine if you're feeling uncomfortable. But I do feel like some of you are here to metabolize and work with other people's experiences, especially their negativity, so that they can move on and feel better. But part of that is you knowing what to do with that energy and transmuting it and transforming it. You guys are really, wow. We have fears. Face your fears and stop running from them, okay? And I think that, you know, fears came up in pile number 1 too. There is a lot of fear in the collective right now. And a lot of us, you know, are not seeing the bigger picture, right? We need some perspective, and we need to know that we're protected. Everything's going to be fine. And I think you in pile number 2, I think you're going to help other people face their fears. I think you're going to help other people take that risk or make that leap, okay? And I think you're going to make other people feel safe to do that, and supported by you, okay? And you're going to help ease the fears in the collective, pile number 2. Wow, healing, wow, okay. Gentleness of love, realignment, and transformation. There is the transformation twice. It's written on this card and it's written here. Card number 11. We're almost up to 1111, all right? And this is healing. This is gentleness, okay? And I think some of you guys have been through some pretty harsh, rude awakenings and experiences in your life, and Spirit is wanting to bring you a gentleness now. They're wanting to calm this energy down and bring you some gentleness is what I'm seeing. Second ray of wisdom. Whenever I think of wisdom, I always think of Archangel Michael, all right? And, you know, you guys are working in the heart temple. You guys are working with the heart of humanity. I feel like some of you guys have had such rough experiences that it's been even hard for your own heart at times. And I feel like you guys are going to be working in the heart temple and working with the wisdom to understand the changes and transformations that a soul goes through, okay? So I'm just going to read a quick bit about this second ray of wisdom here, okay? And let's go ahead and see. So it says being able to trust in future abundance is important. You will not need to hold on to every opportunity, person, or situation out of fear or loss or lack. Instead, you are learning to live in true abundance and flow. Practice feeling comfortable in letting go, right? Pluto, letting go, right? Everything I told you guys about. Practice on feeling comfortable in letting go as well as receiving. Trust that the universe has all that you want and need, an unlimited supply. The universe will truly provide for you, dear child of light. This is a very different way of thinking to how most humans are conditioned from an early age. But it's never too late in one's mind to be open one's heart, to be more loving and abundant and an enjoyable way to live, okay? Finally, as the second ray of wisdom relates particularly to teachers in education, you are encouraged to trust that you have a message to share that is helpful and educational for others. Whether your involvement in education or teaching is formal or less obvious, you are encouraged to honor the energy of the teachers in your life or your own inner teacher. In some way, your sole purpose likely involves helping others to learn through wisdom and love. Oh my God, wow. Wow. This ray will help you focus your consciousness in your heart. It will help bring consciousness to unresolved matters of the heart for healing. Okay, this includes not only issues of relationships, but any issues around trusting your heart to lead you. Okay, this ray will help heal your heart in an affirming and nurturing way. So again, like I said, this is the heart. This is the heart energy, the healing. You're in the healing temple of the heart. And no wonder I meant, and you guys have, you know, you have the rose quartz, and the rose quartz is the heart, okay? And I'm seeing an M in this rose quartz here, all right? I'm seeing an M, I'm seeing an R, an A, and a V, Rav, and I'm seeing an M here too, Ram, Rav. What else, Spirit? Take time to breathe out, okay? You have nothing to prove. You've got nothing to worry about. If you get that icky, gross feeling when you're kind of tapping into some rough energy in the collective, Spirit is breathe out, all right? Ooh, you guys have the ancestor spirit, white eagle, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now, okay? A fear around loss or losing, or a fear of things changing can be healed now through your ancestors, pile number 2, okay? You do guys feel like you guys have some very powerful ancestors who are with you in this reading here. Oh my God, pile number 2. I feel like you guys are ascending in this lifetime, guys. Like, here we are. This is Ascension. This is the World card in this Starseed Oracle deck. And yeah, I said to myself, if this card came out, that you are ascending in this lifetime, okay? So you are ascending in this lifetime. And I think your future lifetimes are going to be on other planets where you are going to be teaching people. I'm seeing the letter A here too, where you guys are going to be teaching people how to work with these very, very complex and collective energies, okay? And just as I said that, we are coming up, we are in the 11:11 power hour right now, just as I started talking about your ascension in this lifetime, pile number 2. Wow, okay. All right, you don't have anything to prove, pile number 2. You really don't. This reading is a sign to you that in this lifetime you are ascending. Your ascension is already underway here, okay? So let's go ahead and see. I want to see what work is pile number 2 doing in future worlds here. We have the Tower. So again, you guys are coming into situations that are very dire, that need up the cleanup crew or the cleanup task. You guys are coming along with help and practical ways and practical things that you can do to help others rebuild and begin again after they've been through some very, very upsetting, after their soul has been through some very upsetting and challenging circumstances. Like, I honestly feel, pile number 2, like you guys could be the type of healers that are going to be there in the temples, in the heart temples and the healing temples after souls on earth go through a very traumatic ending or death, okay? If you think of all the people that, whenever I look at the Tower, not all the time, but sometimes when I look at the Tower, I think of 9/11, okay? And I think of what happened during that event and what a challenging world event it was, right? And the souls that were lost that day, and the pain and the suffering that they went through, and the pain that they must have felt as they transitioned back into spirit form and trying to understand their experience, okay? And what they were learning through that, and the horrible, loss that they must have felt, as a soul to kind of go through that. And that event just really touched me as well, pile number 2. It really, really touched me. And it still touches me to this day. Like, seeing what happened, seeing the fear in people's faces, the people running, etc. And, you guys are, you guys are going to become like a spirit guide to people that are on the earth plane, I feel too. Some of you are going to become spirit guides after this lifetime. You're going to be part of the healing temple. You're going to show souls that have been through very traumatic experiences how they can find wisdom and heal their heart and overcome those experiences. And you're going to take their shock and confusion and help them find emotional healing and emotional stability after a time of great upset, okay? And you're going to be a part of these renegade, but yet, you know, not renegade, well, renegade in a way, because I feel like not many souls are going to do what you do, all right? This is a specialty, pile number 2. Your future lives are in specialty service to spirit. Yeah, and it's a trade, and it's a knowledge, and it's a skill that you will have perfected by the time that you reach that love, that pinnacle of experience, okay? And you're going to help people in service to humanity and in service to souls that have crossed over in ways that you can't even imagine. And it is going to be very practical, and it is going to involve a rebuilding. It's not just fluffy woo-woo, you know, whatever. You guys are going to help people who have had very, you know, tough, traumatic experiences. You're going to, and maybe you're already doing that in this lifetime too. You're a healer, or you're a counselor of some sort, or, you know, you've already, right? And with Archangel Michael coming out and saying, you have nothing to fear. I feel like you guys have been training for this for a long time. I feel like this lifetime is an extra added bonus for you, pile number 2. It's like that one last little kick that's going to kind of push you over into ascension and even further. Like, I feel like you guys already could have been ascending in your prior lifetime. It's like this lifetime's just extra credit. It's like something that you wanted to do. I feel like, yeah, this is your gift to humanity, pile number 2. This is the biggest love letter that you'll ever write. What a sacrifice. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tears, pile number 2. This is your love letter to humanity. This is the work that you're doing for the next generation, okay? And some of you may have children too, and it's very important to you that you impart this knowledge as well to your children, okay? It's a service to humanity. Look at you guys. You are already ascended. Look at you guys. You're magicians, okay? Look at this. I mean, you're emotional masters here. You're healers. You're incredibly skilled at what you do. And this is a love letter to humanity and to the next generation, pile number 2. This is your love letter. And you guys are the magicians. And, you know, it might be like when you leave a situation, people might not even know that you were there or that there's any trace of you. And they may not understand why all of a sudden they feel better, or why all of a sudden it's not even about, like, for you, this is a love letter, pile number 2. Your soul is a love letter. And I feel like people may not even know at times that you were even there, because some of you may be doing things behind the scenes, is what I feel. But the imprint of your energy and the gifts that you brought and the magic that you possessed and shared with others unwaveringly and courageously will not be forgotten, pile number 2. It will not be forgotten, okay? Yeah, I mean, you help people release them from their bondage. You help people see the gift of who they are, and you help them integrate who they are and understand their gifts, and you help release others from their fears and from the bondage of, you know, thinking that there's nothing beyond what they're experiencing, okay? You're helping people see the gift and incorporate that. That is beautiful, pile number 2. Bless your souls, pile number 2. Bless your souls is all I have to say. And keep working your path, because you're already doing it. And like Archangel Michael says, you've got nothing to prove. You are who you are. You're doing what you're doing. Love to you, pile number 2. Take care. Okay, wow. Woo! Woo! All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. Whew. Boy, oh boy, right? What a reading, guys. What a reading. All right, let's get into it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the citrine. I love this citrine stone. I love holding it, looking at it. It looks like it's so good you can almost eat it, right? Pile number 3. So we are going to get into your reading called Future Lives, Your Path to Ascension, okay? And we're gonna see like what you're gonna be working on in future lifetimes. We're gonna see what you need for your own ascension process. We're going to see what wisdom and knowledge you're going to be bringing to others. Okay, pile number 3. So let's get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please help me connect to the flame and the light and the beauty of my beautiful pile number 3s, who seem very visual to me already. Like I have a picture in my head of them. Please and thank you, angels, so much. Okay. So as I was meditating, right when I closed my eyes, I saw the flame of the candle, and it was like it stayed with me. It was like an imprint in me, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. My beautiful pile number 3s. Let's see, where are your future lives headed, and what's your pathway to ascension? All of a sudden, my nose got a little bit stuffy. So I don't know if you guys are having like allergies or stuffy nose, or you've been stuffed up lately, but it just hit me. I'm like, where did that come from? Okay, we have Archangel Zadkiel, turn worry into curiosity, okay? So this lifetime is all about taking anything that you have anxiety about or fears with, and being curious about where you can go with the energy, okay? And for some of you guys, I feel like I see the number 5 here too. I feel 5 is kind of a challenge number, and it's definitely a number of change. And, there could be some circumstances in your life, even right now, that are kind of on the edge and that are needing a little push to kind of get into the next phase. And I feel like some of you have been on the precipice of a big change in your life, whether some of you are going through a divorce, or you're going through, a relationship change, or you went through a breakup, or you went through recently, in the last year or two, went through a divorce, or or you feel like you're on the edge of that. I feel like this energy is saying, there could be things that you're worried about, or changes that might be coming up ahead along the road, or maybe some of you are thinking of leaving a job if it doesn't have to do with the relationship, or you're worried about, what would happen if you were to transition out of one thing into the next. And Spirit is saying, look at it as a new adventure, right? Look at it as a new adventure instead of something that you're like, oh gosh, I don't know, Look at it as a new adventure. I know that's hard, and interestingly, for your guys' pile, I decided to pull 2 planets for you. You're the only pile that got 2 planets, because this is where you're going to be doing future work with, or working with this planetary energy, okay? Yeah, you guys have Neptune. So, it's like you could be worrying a lot about things, and you could have, be unfocused because of that, but I feel like a lot of you could be very artistic. You could be very poetic, artistic, creatives. And I feel like and I'm seeing the number 25 here too. I'm also seeing the goddess Isis here. For those of you that are connected with Isis, I feel that energy as well. I'm also seeing an owl here. All right. So, there is tremendous growth around the corner for you guys. And I feel like you guys are going to grow into your creativity, into your artistry. And for those of you that are like budding creatives, or that you are creatives, or you identify with that, my musicians, my artists, my peeps, right? And actors, actresses, anybody who's an artist, any type, right? Healers, etc. Healers are artists too, we definitely are. And I feel like I feel like a lot of you think you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices to kind of get to the next step in your life, right? I feel like you're going to have to make a lot of, you may have to let go of a lot of things, or make sacrifices to get to the next thing, but I feel like Neptune is here to tell you that love, romance, beauty, artistry, etc. is part of your path in this lifetime and in future lifetimes, okay? We have Saturn, okay? So no wonder you guys got two, right? So I do feel like you could be worried. Some of you may have financial worries, or you may have worries about what's going to happen next, okay? And Spirit is saying, you know, and some of you here could be quite dreamy in this pile as well. And I feel like some of you may have like a very dreamy side, but then you also have a practical side, and you're like, well, my vision and my dream is to do this, but what about this, or what about that, right? And, you know, you guys are kind of learning to deal with Saturn energy, Capricorn and Pisces. Like, you're dealing with Saturn energy here. You're dealing with like Venus and Saturn energies too. I feel like some of you could have Venus, Saturn, you know, aspects in your birth chart, okay, too, here. And you guys are learning how to deal with the Saturn energies here. And you are dreamers, and you do want to bring your greater vision to humanity, and you want to do something to uplift humanity is what I see. But some of you may be worried about the practical elements of what's going on or what you're doing, keeping the dream alive, right? And I feel like some of you are reaching for better, like, romance, love, soul connection. And, you know, and I think some of you are worried about that and like how it's going to all turn out, right? And some of you may be a little bit worried about facing the truth about a current relationship that you're in too, is what I feel. And on a more, you know, higher level, I feel like these energies are about, you know, the fact that you are a dreamy, creative soul, you're a romantic soul, you want love, you want tenderness, you want connection, right? And you want to help humanity. You have a vision and an ideal and an encouragement that you want to give to others. But some of you are like, how do I practically put that in place? How do I actually, I want all of this. How do I actually do it? How do I bring it into form, right? How do I bring it in so that it's a reality for me? And some of you are learning issues about discipline, hard work, structure, putting things to your life into place so that you can have that room to kind of play and dream and think and create, okay? And I feel like that is very important for your soul's growth. You need the dreamy, like, ooh la la aspect to yourself, but you also need, you know, timetable, structure, discipline, a schedule. Like, you also need that, because that is going to help eliminate some of the worry or confusion that can come out of this, and it's going to allow you to have maximum expression of your gifts, okay, pile number 3? So I feel like that's where we're angling here with you. And we have vision, yeah, because you guys got so much vision. You guys have creative vision, artistic vision, trust in your ability to create in the vision in your soul, okay? And some of you are quite visionary, all right? Like, you may have like Venus in Pisces or Pisces rising, or you may have Sun conjunction Neptune, Sagittarius energy, vision energy, okay? And I feel like, and you may have some strong Saturn placements in your chart too, or placements in your chart that bring Saturn energy to height in your chart is what I also feel, okay? And, or you may have Aquarius too for some of you, all right? Because Saturn used to be the old school ruler of Aquarius. But, you know, it's like having the vision to follow through, right? The vision is there, right? And I think, you know, some of you too are on a journey of trusting your creative talents and your abilities and what you want to do. And it's a step-by-step process, right? And you guys do have incredible vision, pile number 3. Like, you really do. You really are amazing artists, okay? And it's a matter of, you know, like working through any self-doubt with that, and also giving yourself the structure that you need in your life to create that. And, you know, when people talk about structure in Saturn, they often talk about the father or patriarch or something. And it doesn't have to be that way. It's about being your own. And I know some people don't like that, especially people that are more resonating like with the goddess energy and things like that, you know. And what I want to say about Saturn energy is that you become your own internal masculine, right? You put yourself on a timetable or a time frame or a schedule. You do the work, you have the discipline, you take the classes, you dedicate yourself to the task, right? So that you can be your own internal protector, so that you can watch yourself on the path and protect yourself on the path, okay? And I feel like some of you may get discouraged about the way that things go sometimes, because it's like one step forward, one step back in your soul, right? And, you know, and you're learning about the limitations of others too. I think a lot of you have a grand vision of how you could see things going. And I feel like some of you feel like other people are coming in and kind of spoiling the party in ways. And so I feel like your life is also about learning about limitations, right? Some of you could have Saturn rising in your chart as well, like Saturn on your ascendant or things like that, okay? And I feel like you're learning about the limitations of others as well, and the limitations that people would try to put on you. And, you know, you're growing out of that, and you're really getting into your, I feel like some of you could be Uranian too. You could be creative artists with a unique view on things, all right? But there is the 3D to contend with, isn't there, okay? We have lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with questioning the status quo, pile number 3. There's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, you do need to have respect for your own boundaries and limitations and what works for you, but there's nothing wrong with questioning the status quo or questioning authority, right? Like, and if it's something that you've been shying away from, I think it's something you should do. Like even question yourself, like, what am I doing with my day every day? And what am I spending my time on, right? And am I spacing out on certain things? Like lifting the veil to see, like, you know, I'm going to question this because, you know, it's my life, right? And I've got to live it, is what I feel. We have child of the cosmos. Look at you. Look at your poetic souls, pile number 3. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Child of the cosmos. Don't ever doubt yourself, darlings. And do question the authority around you, the powers that be, the voice inside yourself that is doubting or says that you can't do it, or that your vision isn't, or that what your idea sucks. You know, question that. Yeah, lies, speak the truth. So I feel like sometimes people pretend to be kind of on your side or a part, like that they want the best for you, but then you find out that they don't, okay? And for you guys, I feel like it's important that I don't think you need to be paranoid in questioning other people, but I think you need to take a step back sometimes and look at the bigger picture and why other people are saying the things to you that they are, right? Like, you may feel like it's an attack on you, but really it's an admission that they need you or they can't do without you. So, you know, understanding those psychological games that people play, pile number 3, and unfortunately, you know, some of it is part of the collective energy of that manipulation and that lack matrix, okay? And I feel like you guys are very sensitive, and you're going to become really good at identifying that. And I feel like you guys are going to become very good at exposing the truth, okay? And that's the future path to your ascension, is exposing the truth. And I feel it's very good for you guys to work with mentors and work with teachers here who are good at exposing the truth. And, you know, I know a lot of times we have like a call out culture and people get really excited when they can call other people out. There's a balance in that too, right? It's not all about judging others, calling everyone out all the time. And your guys' souls are too advanced to kind of get caught up in that anyway. I don't feel like that's a danger for you, but I feel like you do need to examine for your own discernment here the lies that other people have told you that have made you believe something about yourself that is not true, okay? And it says, speak the truth even if your voice shakes. Speak your truth, okay? So you're a child of the cosmos, and I do think people need you, pile number 3. When your energy comes on the scene, you're a very healing, positive, creative force, and people do need and want your energy. It's like, you know, what are they doing though? And I feel like some of you are kind of waking up to that, all right? We have manifest, make a wish. You are a strong manifester. Yeah, you know what? And that's coming out under Saturn. So if you guys feel like you've been trying to do something and it isn't working, lift the veil on that motherfucking situation, and not on certain people. I'm not trying to go after people here. I'm seeing the word me on here too. Lift the veil on yourself, okay? Lift the veil on yourself and see, is this something that you really want, or are you working at cross purposes with yourself, okay? And it's all about even understanding the lies that we tell ourselves, right? Like, I want to go here. I want to do that. Are you sure that's what you want to do? Are you sure that that situation is going to bring you happiness? Okay. And so it's not just even about calling everyone else out. It's about also lifting the veil on our own selves and what we're doing, you know. And I think you guys are becoming, you know, stronger in your own discernment and your belief in yourself. Your unshakable confidence is what's going to come out here. Yeah, we have cosmic circles, creating sacred space, embracing unlimited possibilities, okay? Yeah, so that's coming out next to the manifesting and lifting the veil on situations that seem impossible, or that there is a limitation there that can't be crossed. Some of you are going to have to really think creatively too. And I think some of you have set up some, you know, challenging relationships with your planets in your chart too. And I do feel like our charts are our pre-incarnation instructions to our guides, and there are fail-safe mechanisms that we put in place in this lifetime to make sure that we stay on our destiny path. Like, we always have free will, but it's also kind of like our urge, right? Our chart represents our driving urge in this lifetime, okay? So if you're always finding that people are coming up against what you're trying to do, it's time to think bigger. It's time to think of other things. It's time to get creative. It's time to take those creative abilities and employ them in your own life. It's time to set up the structures that allow you to do what it is that you want to do. It's time to really look at, is that something that I want or not, okay? And because you guys are powerful manifestors here, you really, I feel like your soul is kind of working through these lessons around manifestations and limitations and the energy of abundance, okay? And I feel like your soul is really kind of working through these issues. Yeah, we have number 10, power of the divine masculine. So it is about protecting your own inner masculine energies, and your own inner masculine energies creating a container and a structure for you to actually go for your manifestations, okay? And some of you may have had very challenging father figures, or you may have had challenging, you know, relationships in that way, or challenging relationships with the masculine, or what you perceive as people coming up and, you know, fucking up your business. But let's go ahead and see here. And this is about your empowerment, pile number 3. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is about your empowerment and your own drive here to create what it is that you want. Okay, so it says the divine masculine in you knows when to accept and knows when to say no to a belief, fear, habit, person, or situation. The divine masculine energy exists within all men and women. It rallies the spirit and responds in times when you may feel drained, taken advantage of, overwhelmed by too many choices and demands. It cuts through the confusion that comes with choice and priority setting. It refuses to be distracted and keeps you from being dissuaded from your life purpose. The divine masculine is growing within you now. It is the spiritual light that reveals the truth without filters or veils. Speak your truth. truth, right? Let this energy clear distractions, demands, and drama from your life. Let it help you discern what is best for you and give you the courage to act on it. Let it help you sort out what is true from illusion. Let it help you dedicate your time and energy to what is most meaningful for you. It will empower you to claim success in what matters most to you. The divine masculine overcomes procrastination. It acts again and again in accordance with the heart. Okay, so yeah, that's this energy of you're just going to take control of this. And it's, you know, and it's an energy that, you know, we need to become the powerful creators in our life that we're meant to be, okay? And we need to sometimes protect the more vulnerable aspects of ourselves, okay? So that we can create peacefully. It's very hard to create peacefully if we're like, you know, letting everyone cross our boundaries, if we're staying in relationships that drain us and, you know, are abusive, or relationships that are not equal, that can't meet us on our own ground, that are just distractions at the end of the day, like relationships that are never going to be, you know, up to the task in our life, right? Or it's those moments that we allow friends to kind of overtake all of our time and we don't leave any time for ourselves and the passions that we want to do, right? And it's about protecting ourselves in a way, not in a way where we need to be fearful or be like, if I don't, you know, no, you know, constant no's. Like, it's not always about that. It's about knowing what your urge is, knowing what's important, and giving yourself the time and space to do that, okay, is what I'm getting for you, pile number 3. This is how your soul is evolving now. This is your pathway to ascension, okay? We have new moon in Gemini. Communication is key, all right? So yeah, I mean, communicating to others, this willpower, your willpower, what your intent is and where you're going and where you're headed, communication is key here. And it is in your relationships as well. And especially when it comes out under this lies card, okay? Like, you know, communication is key, and anything that isn't said or swept under the rug or isn't, you know, like some people create lies by omission. They don't say something, right? Pile number 3, pay attention to not just what people say, but what they don't say, because there's a multitude of things that people could say in a situation, right? And sometimes it's what they don't say, okay? And we have Bridget here, inner strength. That's right, my beauties. You guys have prominent Saturn in your chart, and you are learning about your inner strength, okay? Your inner masculine, your inner authority in this lifetime. Move back into wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. Exactly. This reading is about your empowerment, and that is your pathway to ascension. Ooh, yeah, baby. Ace of Orbs, okay? And let's see, the Ace of Orbs. I think the I'm pretty sure the orbs are the Ace of Swords. And yeah, in this deck. Yep, that's right. It's the Ace of Swords. It's Archangel Michael, okay? So yeah, Ace of Swords in your guys' reading. Like, you know, and you're not going to have to become this tough asshole who doesn't, you know, that cuts you off from your dreamy, creative, poetic, romantic self. No, it's about you knowing the truth and you having the truth and foresight in situations so that you can act from that and you can make decisions based on that. And it's about you lifting the veil on things that seemed impossible so that you can see that you can get into like your mad genius energy. You can get into your creative energy and you can have new ideas and, you know, and you can be at peace with that. Pile number 3 is what I feel. Some of you here could be air signs too. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel Sagittarians in this pile. We could have Capricorns here too, Aquarians, but it's all about developing this inner strength, right? Recognize that you have the power and move back into wholeness, okay? And yeah, so and again, communication is key, Ace of Swords, all right? So communicating what it is that you intend to do and, you know, and letting others know, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, is gonna do wonders for you, pile number 3. Communication becomes a very important tool in your hand, okay? Especially as you kind of get into this divine masculine 10 energy, all right? And let's go ahead and see what future lives is pile number 3 gonna have here. Spirit, what future lives is pile number 3 gonna have here? What future lives? Ooh, the Star. Nice. I think you guys are gonna be very well known in some way. I mean, I think you guys are star seeds. You guys are gonna also return to the cosmos. You're gonna return to the Great Mother, to, you know, the healing energies of the universe. But I also feel like you guys are gonna be helping, illuminating others, giving hope and clarity and peace to those who feel disempowered or feel like there's no hope, okay? And I feel like your future lives are going to be showing people, yes, there is hope here. And yes, like fortune favors you. And yes, this is what, you know, I feel like some of you guys are going to become like manifestation teachers in future lifetimes, okay? And I feel like some of you guys may have some very like famous teachings in future lifetimes that are going to have to do with this. And on other planets too, because you guys are manifesting into the densest form, to the earth plane. There is no other plane that's denser than the earth plane, okay? And I feel like you guys are going to become like darlings of the spiritual world because of that. I think some of you are going to be on center stage in your future lifetimes because of these lessons that you have learned around empowering yourself and speaking the truth, okay? What else? What else for future lives here? 10 of Wands. Yeah, you're going to talk to people about, you know, when the journey, Saturn and Sagittarius energy, right? When the journey starts to feel so hard and so like you just can't make it up that hill and you feel like you want to give up and you feel like it's just too much, right? And you're going to show people that they can keep, you know, they can keep pushing forward and that their hard work is going to pay off and that, you know, Spirit is never going to give them something so big that they can't handle it, okay? Yeah, and I think you guys are going to teach people how to let go of, you know, the things that are really burdening them and their own inner limitations. And you guys, some of you guys may become like sex therapists or tantric teachers in your future lives too. You're going to show people that when you have a relaxed body and nervous system, like you can come easily, you can be happy, you can feel sexual. Okay, and this 6 of Wands in this deck is always, to me, is like having multiple orgasms. I think you're going to teach people how to let go of the heaviness in their life and all the burdens and worry that they've been carrying so that they can free themselves and feel really great in their body as well too. Some of you may be teaching people like, you know, how to feel better in their body as well. Some of you may have dealt with, you know, medical issues in this lifetime or dealt with sickness of some kind. And I feel like, you know, you guys are going to show people how to let those experiences be what they are, but then just really feel good in your physical body. We have Justice here. Okay. So some of you, I feel like, are going to be serving on these intergalactic court hearings in a way too. All right. And I feel like there are people in this world who seek to disempower others and control others, etc. We all know that. And I think you guys are going to be, in your future lives, you're going to be somehow involved in the cutting of the justice there. Like you guys are going to be involved, the proverbial, you know, splitting the baby type of energy. Like you guys are going to be involved in making very important decisions in the future about, you know, how to keep the situations on the earth plane balanced. And I think you're also going to be bringing to justice some people who have, you know, made a lifetime out of disempowering others. Now, and I'm not saying, I don't think and I want to be careful here because I know you guys are beautiful souls and you may be like, no, I wouldn't do that because I'm not, you know, but when you think about the energy of justice, it's the balance of experience, right? And it's nothing that I feel like you guys are just going to right some experiences, right some wrongs, if you know what I mean. All right. And, you know, and it's for their soul evolution too. But I feel like some of you guys are going to be very, you know, skilled in this area, and you're going to be able to make a call and on whether people need to stay back and work more or if they can incarnate again. I feel like some of you guys are going to be doing work like that too. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Again, I feel like in future lifetimes, you guys are going to be determining people's fate, okay? And their destiny of their soul. Like, you know, and of course, only God can do that, right? But you know, and only us individually can do that, whether you believe in God or not. But I do think that you guys are going to become a part of this wise counsel that's going to counsel others in future lifetimes and say, I think you need to stay back in the astral plane or back in, you know, work on other planets and do some trial runs, etc., before you go and jump into this experience again, okay? And I think you need, and you're going to tell them, I think you need to be better trained, or I think your soul needs more experiences before you can move on. And I think some of you guys are going to be, you know, because you have gone through your own, like, back-breaking experiences here and then felt the release just of pure joy and happiness after having gone through that. But I think that you, because you have this Saturn energy here too, so heavy with the Saturn energy, I think part of your future path is going to be telling others when they need to pull it back and evolve more where they're at versus incarnating again, okay? Wow, pile number 3. Jeez, pile number 3. Let's see, what else? What else? I do feel like you guys are kind and benevolent souls, but I do think that wisdom, Ace of Swords here, is coming out, all right? And it's building in this lifetime. What does pile number 3 need to know here for their path to ascension? Ooh, the Chariot, right? Keep pushing, mama. Keep pushing, dada, mama, right? Right? We don't do lies. We don't do goodbyes. We just keep it pushing, right? And I feel like you guys are like, you just need, it's all about like, we have 2 victory cards here, 6 of Wands and the Chariot, this whole, you know, rising up over experiences which would seek to maybe hold us back. I feel like some of you guys are on, you know, sometimes I feel like you guys are on solo missions and you're like, this is what I want to do and I just have to go for it, okay? And I feel like with this Chariot energy, it's like, keep pushing, keep evolving, keep pushing your soul forward, and you will get to rest, okay? But this lifetime isn't really a rest lifetime, I feel like, you know? This is kind of like a get up and go lifetime is what I feel. And so if you do need to get up and go or leave situations, do it, pile number 3, do it, okay? We have 10 of Pentacles here. So after a phase of a lot of effort and exertion, I feel like you guys are going to find a safe place to land, and you're going to find a community around you that supports you, a family that you may create on your own that loves you, all right? Sustainable relationships. But I do feel like there's this time for you to be independent and go after what you seek first here. Yeah, you guys are going to find a lot of stability. I feel even later on in your lifetime too, like in this lifetime, you're going to find a lot of stability after you go and get it for yourself, right? And I feel like this is kind of a DIY lifetime. Another card just flew out here. It was the Ace of Pentacles. But you love it. I think it's an opportunity for you to grow, right? And that's why you did it. You know, that's why you came here, because it was an accelerated opportunity for your soul to grow into I think you're going to grow into this kind of diviner of justice in a way, and, you know, helping other souls determine their fate and their missions, okay? And it's serious work. And so I feel like, you know, you guys have, you know, taken up this crucible here to do this lifetime so that you can even solidify the things that you're going to be doing in the future is what I feel for you, pile number 3, okay? So my darlings, I hope that the readings resonated for you. Bless you, pile number 3. Bless all the piles, and take care.